So you know what they say about wanting really badly what you can't have? I think BMW Malaysia is taking the same approach in teasing us, because this new car that we have flown in all the way to Munich, Germany to try out, the new G20 330e plug-in hybrid, is not even confirmed for the Malaysian market yet. But I still can't wait to tell you what it's all about. So before I share some driving impressions with you, let's take a walk around this car and see what are the little differences on the exterior compared to the 330i M Sport that we have in Malaysia. So this one comes dressed with the M Sport body kit as well, and as you can tell, identical front bumpers, identical rear bumpers, even identical wheels. Someone within the BMW design department just needs to make a statement that these wheels just look way too subdued to match the aggression and even elegance of this new design. So at the front here, the one thing that stands out is the sensor over there for the driver assistance systems, as this one is equipped with. The other major difference, we now get a charging port by the front left fender. Because this is a PHEV model with the batteries at the back, unfortunately boot space has somewhat been sacrificed. You're talking about going from 480 litres to about 370 litres. Not exactly impressive, but still usable if you ask me. And if you're willing to get a PHEV, these are the little compromises perhaps that you just have to live with. The other thing I'd like to talk about the exterior of this car is the matte paint job in particular. Personally, I'm not a fan of them, and applied on this car, I don't think it looks that appropriate. Perhaps on the M5 or the 8 series, it could really go very well together, but on something more compact, more aggressive like that, I think more vibrant color schemes, more lively color schemes would be more suitable. Right, so I'm in the 330e now, and first things first, man, it's hot in Munich. When they first told us that it's going to be summer and all that, I was actually quite excited, because I don't really like the cold, but shit, when we arrived, it's so freaking hot. In Malaysia, you have the sunlight that is really scorching, but in actual sense, the humidity is the one that kills you. But over here, you have the slight breeze and all, but the sunlight is so unforgiving. So a little bit of the specs of the 330e. This one comes with the 2-litre engine from the 330i, which is detuned, so you get about 250 horsepower. But with this new extra feature in this car, the extra boost, momentarily you get extra 40 horsepower, making 290 horsepower to go with the 420 Newton meters of torque. And together with this 8-speed ZF gearbox, it's such a smooth drive. I can't tell you how smooth this transmission is. The way it's calibrated together with the throttle, the engine, the response is just so refined. It makes me ask the question, why? Why do we need the dual clutch when an automatic transmission can still do such a good job? This extra boost feature that is part of the sport mode. Press once for the sport mode, press one more time for the extra boost feature, and almost instantly you hear a very different, very enthusiastic, very exciting exhaust note. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I like it yet. I wouldn't exactly say that it's a nice noise, but it does rile you up a lot more. It's definitely a nice addition to the new G20 330e compared to the F30 generation from before. So as for the noise that comes with the extra boost feature, I had a little chat with the technician earlier, and I asked if this is actually a genuine engine / exhaust noise, because nowadays there are a lot of car manufacturers that make all these fake noises and then they get transmitted into the cabin via the speakers. And very cheekily, the BMW technician mentioned that it's a 50-50 type deal. Wink, wink. Very cheeky of this guy, actually. Very funny, but there you go. So back to the whole topic of the calibration of the car in terms of the throttle response in relation to the engine and the transmission. There's another thing I'd like to point out, man. Because this is a PHEV, obviously you will always transition between hybrid, pure electric, pure internal combustion engine, and man, the calibration work that they have done, it's almost seamless. And because it's so refined, coming out from junctions in urban areas and all, you can't tell if it's on pure EV mode or internal combustion engine. And like, once you get up to the highways and you really go harder a bit with the throttle, the only indication is that you get a bit of engine noise, and that's when you know the internal combustion engine has kicked in. And you don't really feel that transition, that switch. It wasn't like the F30 was bad from before, but I think they've just taken this to another level. And having spoken to the technicians, they were really excited, very enthusiastic about the result, and I think rightfully so, because it's just very, very well integrated. And the other thing I like to mention about this car is the way it handles. Mind you, it weighs 1.8 tons. You're talking about BMW 5 Series, perhaps even M5 territory in terms of weight. And my god, we're going through some really nice winding B roads in the back country. It masks its weight so well, so well. Granted, this one comes with the M Sport suspension, you got all the adaptive features, and together with the wider track, it just makes it seem so effortless. Speaking of the batteries though, they have increased the capacity from about 7 odd kilowatts to about 12 kilowatts now. And if there's one thing that really annoys me about these plug-in hybrids, is the fact that not only do they take really long to charge, which is completely understandable, you know, you can have faster charge if you use a very specific charger, but what gets me even more is the fact that they degrade so quickly. You know, you take 4 or 5 hours to get a full charge, and by the time you reverse out of your house, you get out of your neighborhood and you're halfway to the office, it's already 50% gone. It's very, very annoying. That's something that I point out to the technicians earlier, and they said that with this battery capacity increase, the level of degradation, it's actually a lot lower. And I mean, we're not driving really long distance, we're not driving the way we do like in Malaysia. Obviously we Malaysians are more heavy footed, we are more throttle happy, so I can't wait to see how it actually applies to the way we drive in the country that we're in. At the moment we're in a foreign land, so obviously we're taking things a lot slower. I'm a lot lighter on the throttle, so it's very hard to gauge for now, but I really hope that what the technician told me earlier is true. So on the whole topic of the PHEV again, like I said earlier, the capacity has increased, so has the pure electric driving range. Before it was about 40 odd kilometers, and they've increased by 50%. That's about 60 odd kilometers now. Whether or not it will actually translate to 60 real kilometers in the real world in the hands of a Malaysian driver in the Malaysian climate remains to be seen. But if you ask me, I think that's actually quite impressive. Speaking of the batteries, what's also quite impressive is that not only have they increased the battery capacity, they've increased the pure EV driving range. You can now drive it in pure EV up to about 110 kilometers an hour before the engine feels the need to kick in. That's pretty cool if you ask me. So at the end of the day, those are all just specs. You can get them off the internet, and you know, you don't need me to explain them to you. I guess what you're really interested to know is how the car actually feels, you know, because of all the additional weight and all that. And from what I can tell you, it does feel a bit firmer than I expected, but it's not in any way uncomfortable. It's engaging without being tiring, and in terms of the refinement, man, the NVH, it's just superb. In terms of the interior design, it's a big step up, but some of you may not still like it in comparison to what you see in the Mercedes-Benz or even Audi. But hey man, I think, like I said, all this while, if you're a proper BMW guy, if you're a proper BMW fan or / enthusiast, I think all these things are pretty much secondary. It's not like they're bad when it comes to things like that. It's just not as impressive, or it doesn't have as much flair compared to Mercedes-Benz. And whether or not that's a problem, personally, I don't think it is, but at the end of the day, it's up to personal interpretation.
Can I cut in before it's too
Sure,
late?
sure.
You're on the Autobahn. Get on that fast lane and floor it
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm done with my video. I've said everything I needed to say.
before you lose it.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the Autobahn now.
Yes, do it, man. Power. Sport.
Oh, I hope you heard the change in soundtrack, man.
Yeah, baby.
Just like that.
Just like that.
In the matter of 3-4 seconds, we're doing 175. This is when the sports exhaust is really showing.
It's transformed the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's transformed the car.
It has transformed the entire experience.
Yes.
Like I said again, I can't say yet if it's a nice sound, if it's a sound that will grow on me or even grow on you guys. But my God, does it sound exciting? Really riles you up. Oh
Amazing.
gosh. Alright, so that's all for now. We're heading back to the BMW factory for a factory tour, and thanks for watching.